now for our social story where we post and you decide what you want us to do a deep dive on. And this week's pick, it won by a landslide. 61% of you chose for us to look into what's next for Russia and Ukraine over Hurricane Erin and a lawsuit alleging the popular gaming site Roblox of failing to protect children. So let's get right to the future of the war between Russia and Ukraine. We have Matt Duss, Executive Vice President for the Center for International Policy. He's here to break this all down. So Matt, Ukrainian allies voiced that a path to peace, well, it simply can't be decided without Zelensky in the room with President Trump and Putin. So based on what we're hearing now, how likely do you think a trilateral meeting could happen?
I think it could happen. And yes, it's true that, I mean, any peace agreement to be real and durable will need Ukrainian buy-in. It will need Ukrainian participation. There's no question about that. I think, this meeting between Trump and Putin, I think was just an effort to kind of feel out what might be possible in this moment. It did not produce an immediate ceasefire. I don't think many people expected it would. But the key question does this put us on a path to a future ceasefire and a future peace agreement? And I think that is possible.
Now, Matt, what do you say about Putin's desire to harken back to the days of the Soviet Union? I mean, his foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, he was spotted wearing a USSR sweatshirt ahead of this summit. So how concerning is it that Moscow appears to have no intention of backing down from pressuring Ukraine to give up key regions along their eastern border?
Yeah, that was, quite a bit of trolling from Lavrov there, kind of juvenile. But the key question is Putin willing to end the war for real? I mean, his choices are driving this war. This war began because of his invasion of Ukraine, and it's his desire to essentially reconstitute, a Russian empire in his view, by taking over Ukraine, or at least, installing a friendly government in Ukraine that has been driving this war. The question is he willing to settle for less than complete control of Ukraine? If he is, I think it's possible we could get a real peace deal. It will be a very, very tough pill for Ukraine to swallow, for Russia to retain control of portions of eastern Ukraine. But if Ukraine comes out of that as a sovereign, independent, democratic country that is able to defend itself, I think that is something that the Ukrainians themselves could support.
Matt, this war has been going on for a very long time, right? You said it was a tough pill to swallow. And you said there is a chance that Ukrainians could support this. But let's talk about the actual compromise for the Ukrainian people. Do you think that they would accept the compromise for a ceasefire and the end result that falls short of a total victory? I mean, is that something that you think that people could stomach?
Yeah, based on polling that I've seen, I think it's around 60% or more of Ukrainians, would support such an agreement. I think that number goes higher the closer you get to the front. That should not be surprising. The Ukrainians who've been enduring the very worst of this war clearly are the ones who want it to end the most. Now, I would say that those who want Ukraine to retake all of its territory, that is a very just goal. Of course, it is completely unjust what Vladimir Putin has done. But the question here is what helps Ukraine retain its sovereignty, its security, its independence, and its democracy. And my sense is that even though, again, it would be a very tough decision, if there's a way to end this war with all of those conditions being met, you would have probably a majority of Ukrainians who would be willing to support it. But again, I think there's a long road and a long series of negotiations between now and then.
Now, man, I want to talk about the relationship between Presidents Trump and Putin and some of their similarities. Now, they're both leaders who seem to believe in what they would call their respective countries' exceptionalism. So what does this summit suggest about how each prepared for and approached this massive meeting?
Right. Well, I think, as was said in your segment earlier, like this was, a propaganda victory for Putin. There's no question about that. Vladimir Putin has always believed that Russia, as a great power, should be the one to sit with other great powers like the United States and determine the fates of smaller countries. He is getting that here. There's no question about that. But I think the question is, okay, that is one cost of this summit. Could one of the benefits of this summit be that it puts us on a path to an eventual agreement? Now, Trump, for his part, has also shown that he views international relations as the strong do what they can and the weak and suffer what they must. As you know, we've seen this in the way he approaches Ukraine, the way he approaches Palestine, and a number of other countries. But I've also seen, as others have, some recent comments he made in a meeting with Ukraine and European leaders, that he is now, thinking about the possibility of the United States offering security guarantees to Ukraine as a way to give Ukraine the confidence to end this war, short of retaking all of their territory. I think that represents a shift from Trump, and that indicates that he is giving this some serious thought, or at least his advisors are.
All right, Matt Duss, thank you for that information.
All right. Thank you, Ike.